Oh, what's going on? A little sooner than I wanted to, Cancer. What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot and Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling like you've gotten yourself together there today, Cancer. I'm still working on it, apparently. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just fantastic, Cancer. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. So Cancer, before we get into this whole thing, I just wanted to let you all know that I am open. If you haven't heard, I'm open for personal readings there, Cancer. So definitely check that out in the description box below. That's where you can set up different appointments with me there, Cancer. Or you can check the link in my bio in Instagram, which I've also posted on there. I'm staying up on this technology stuff there, Cancer. And also, you stay up on it too, Cancer, because scammers are about. And so, you know what? On being up on technology, let's put you on do not disturb, love it. And scammers are about. And yeah, just remember, I'll never reach out to you. You'll either reach out to me through DMing or through, we'll find some other channels there, Cancer. We're doing this technology thing together. Sidebar, someone was watching me try to create a whole account on Google. It was embarrassing, but it's fine. But Cancer, the purpose of this channel are for those of you who have that Cancerian signature in your placements. That was an odd way of saying that. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Saturn, maybe even Uranus, Cancer. This one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of course. All of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Oh, there we go. All right, Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. This great angel around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Jupiter Day. Hope you're feeling lucky. Hope you're feeling expansive. Maybe ready to learn something new there, Cancer. Maybe getting ready to go on a little road trip. Maybe planning some travels there, Cancer. Jupiter Day is fantastic for that. If I didn't tell you, it's Thursday. And Cancer, I don't really have a clever segue for this. So the moon is going void of course. And the moon is going to be going void of course at about 2:52 a.m. and that'll be Eastern time. And then she'll be moving from this oh-so-serious Capricorn to the oh-so-freedom-loving, well, still probably just as serious, Aquarius. It's fine. They're both ruled by Saturn. What are you going to do with them? Yeah. All right, hold on before we get... I love that. That's a lovely little thing to end on their Cancer. But yeah, we're looking at about a 6 hour and 7 minute void of course time there, Cancer. Thank you, guys. And with the void of course, it looks like my other camera, it's fine. We'll worry about that later. My other camera went out, but we're just rolling with it, Cancer. But the purpose of the void of course energy. This happens when the moon forms her last aspect with the major planet and then just kind of goes off and wanders at Cancer, does her own thing, kind of recharge her batteries, and she invites you to do the same. Because, we take on so much energy. We're a very subjective sign. We're really just kind of analyzing what's going on underneath, and in that pursuit and all that sensitivity that Cancer, that can be a lot for us to take on. So this is great for maybe doing some deep breathing or getting in touch with nature, or maybe doing some cooking, maybe Cancer. Maybe there's some rearranging around the house, maybe doing some straightening up there. Maybe this is getting caught up on that laundry. Just something to just kind of just find yourself again. Get attached back to you and just observe the things that are going on within you, Cancer, because that is a perk where we do feel a lot. We do have, I feel like, again, that strong subjective ability to really kind of sit with those emotions and understand them. So, yeah, the moon just wants you to kind of strengthen that skill there, Cancer. I like that. And also, you may notice too that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes during this time, and that people may be less likely to make decisions during this time. I've definitely copped out during a void course there, and they've actually played out in my favor, Cancer. So, just something to consider. And now, Cancer, we are in a waning crescent or a balsamic moon phase in Aquarius. The new moon is going to be tomorrow, Cancer. This could be a great time tonight. Be thinking about what you want to manifest. You know, the new moon, I know it's a little early, but might as well talk about it before we get there. This gives you some time, and actually this couples very well with the waning crescent energy. What do you want to look forward into the future there, Cancer? What are some ways maybe that we've kind of sacrificed ourselves or lost that sense of individuality that is so important, in that sense of freedom to Aquarius? Maybe we've just taken on the role as the mom or the boss or the bus driver or whatever that's looking like. And it's just like, are the things that we're doing and the things that how we're going about, the stuff that we're embodying, do they really speak to who you are, Cancer, and who you're meant to show up in this world? Because Aquarius, the whole point for Aquarius is for them to have that perfect sense of individuality and that unique sense of genius at thinking in the way that they do, in order to keep the collective thinking that way as well, to keep us challenging ourselves as well to be who we are meant to be there, Cancer. So this can be, just really kind of getting things in order. Be thinking about where you want to be, or where you could be a little more innovative, or just again maybe a little bit freer. For example, this is going to be happening at the 20th degree of Aquarius. So in your chart, if you happen to have your time, the time of place would make a difference for this, Cancer. But for like mine, that's going to be happening in Libra's house, the 7th house. So thinking about, as far as like relationships and maybe how I show up in relationships, are there ways that I sacrifice, or are there some ways that I can be a bit bolder? Maybe are there some ways that I'm being maybe even a little too, not being open enough to other people's perspectives? Those would be some of those, and actually you would probably have the same if you have a Leo rising, roughly. But yeah, just that's kind of how, and then think about how you want to, what you want that to look like going into the full moon that comes there, and then maybe even how it's seeming when we get to the Aquarius full moon, around like Leo season. So it's always fascinating to see that's how that stuff blooms there, Cancer, because I still have my little manifestation note that I kept for the Capricorn new moon. So just a little something to start working with the cycles there, Cancer. But yeah, ultimately, I do feel like this energy is really kind of, again, future oriented, with how we have Mercury that's in Aquarius, Pluto that's in Aquarius, the Sun, the Moon, all this Aquarian energy that is happening here. This is just screaming, just like, I'm kind of even picturing it as like, just even like having like a personal just sort of revolution or something like that, that we're just finally like have like enough is enough, even if you've been kind of keeping yourself kind of pigeonholed there, Cancer. So embrace this energy. And even thinking too, with where all this energy is happening, the modern dispositor is Uranus, who's in Taurus, which is questioning our sense of what do we value, and things along those lines, how we show up in the world, and how do we deal with this changes in security. And so a lot of big questions that we can kind of ask, what are some beautiful energy, I feel like, with this, Cancer. So definitely sit with that over these next couple of days, or next day or so, that depending on when you're watching this. But I think that's all I got for you, Cancer. So last couple of things. These readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching there, Cancer. They're a really supportive group, very fantastic intuitives. I think you'd enjoy them. I'm finally starting to get some of my stuff packed there, and I've been getting back to listening to some stuff there, Cancer. I'm getting all caught up. But there's also a link for an astrologer that I really enjoy there, Cancer. Some links for a couple of podcasts I've been really jamming to. And there's some links for some apps if you want to keep track of all this chart stuff that's going on with you, Cancer. Really kind of great pinpoint to have that reference. So especially when we're talking about these cycles here, you can see how that may be translating in your chart. But let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day there, Cancer. Which I like this. Nice little energy to balance out the day. Or balance out the lunar cycle, because you have the new moon in, I love that, new moon in an air sign. You have the new moon in Libra card, which is a card of know you are loved. And, Cancer, even just speaking about all of this unique Aquarius energy, because that's a big thing for them too. It's like, how do you keep that individuality even in the sense of, not even just society, this could even be in the face of like Aquarius deals with groups. Our family can be a group. Our friends can be a group. Our lovers can be a group. But I do feel like this is kind of asking, maybe for some of you, do you feel love for who you are in your group? When things go, and I feel like it's not that you have to, be where we're not ignoring the fact that we have flaws that we're working on, that we're trying to work with, in a sense. And it's, but it's just like, do you feel love even when you're not in your, at your highest? Do you still feel supported, that you're allowed to have a day where you don't need to be on all the time, where you don't need to, where you can just sort of like relax and calm down, not having to almost, I'm picturing the scales kind of just like teetering back and forth. Do I just tell them, F it, I don't want to do this thing, or do I keep their feelings in mind? And just like, that could be something we may be kind of going back in. It's just like, do you get almost kind of picking up off the one from, I want to say it was yesterday, do you get a breather? But, I do feel like that's a very important question. Do you feel loved in your group? And do you feel you're giving that same love for others being themselves, kind of figuring their journeys out, allowing that sense of compassion? You may not agree with what they're doing, but, it's like, as long as you're safe, as long as you're this, like, we all have different paths that we're meant to take, but, I'm here to support you regardless. Because there's something in that when there is that reciprocity that happens, I feel, where one of the things Libra may try to achieve when it comes to relationships, it's and this could even be too, Cancer, I'm even feeling like for those who know they have that sort of unconditional love, that support, that I'm even getting like an energy of just sending just a reminder. And, I was listening to a podcast. I was talking about Valentine's Day, and I thought it was really interesting that it's happening during Aquarius season. It's supposed to maybe happening during they were talking about this too. I was thinking during like Pisces season, because we're feeling a little more loving, a little more compassionate, all this stuff. And they were talking about the season of love, like Leo season. I was like, yeah, because technically, Leo is, that romantic love, that kind of heart ruled. So it's just, but all that got me thinking with how we're celebrating this here in America. With Valentine's Day, this could be, instead of like just something we're sending to to a partner. Let's say we're single, this could be, and even if we're not, sending, this love to our friends, this appreciation, it kind of expanding on the idea of love a little bit, because I feel like you don't necessarily have to be in a relationship to be living this whole life, there's just that love and that connection with others as well there, Cancer. And I like this energy here, Cancer. Let's get some tarot on this and get some details. I'm actually kind of getting like a lover's energy coming through there, Cancer. But again, I feel like it is worth mentioning, not just in that kind of just romantic. It could be platonic, it could be familial. This could even be in your business environment there, Cancer. Whether you might have your team that that you work with on your business, or maybe these are your co-workers at your job, or whatever that's looking like. All right, Cancer. Thank you, guys. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, look at these divine, and a very interesting divine counterparts as that there, Cancer. So you have, very interesting. So you have the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the King of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Four of Wands here, Cancer. And that's fascinating, I find, with this Four of Swords being here, because this can be like a card of union there, Cancer. And I feel like there's this energy, maybe for some, if we've been feeling about it, or if it makes sense. I feel like getting together with some of these people. I just feel like there's this energy. We had gotten a little bit of gratitude that was coming through there. I remember not too long ago. I feel like this Seven of Cups, I almost feel like it's just kind of even thinking about like these people in a sense, and I feel like just doing something kind of small for them from the heart, because the Seven of Cups, and this is interesting how this is coming through. This is Venus in Scorpio, and when you think about Scorpio energy, they kind of live this life like they understand the darker sides of life. They're not strangers to death or afraid of this death or this things that are taboo. And it's just like, things were going to end tomorrow. Who would I want to be with today? Who would I want to kind of surround myself with? And not to get into like a morbid type of sense there, Cancer, but again, to more so from a place of appreciation. Kind of keeping those people in your thoughts, sending that kind of high vibration there. And I feel for too, just how you got the King and Queen of Swords here. There could be just this need to, maybe for some, we haven't talked with some people maybe in a little while there. And just kind of extending just like a sort of like a little friendly hello, or something just a little more maybe thoughtful than just like maybe if you just happen to send memes or something like that. Or, I don't feel like you necessarily need a reason just to speak. And there's even something kind of interesting too with the Queen and King of Swords being here. I'm kind of picking up that unconventionalness with, or unconvention. Let me just with these two, because these two are a more intellectual bunch. I figure they're probably like they're sapiosexuals. I would think, and I'm just even feeling that there's this maybe for some. I'm just getting this love in this not conventional type of way, in this more sort of just like unique, and like appreciating those types of transactions a little bit more there, Cancer. But I do feel the King of Cups too, though. He is giving me this energy of, because he's a very healthy expression of boundaries, and I feel like that it is to remembering, that these people do love and things along those lines, but I do feel like in remembering how they bring what they bring to the table, their Cancer, remember yourself in this as well. I feel like there's this, I feel like there's this almost, for some, maybe putting a person on a pedestal, possibly putting them above ourselves, and even though this person could be like the love of your life, that doesn't, you're your very first love there, Cancer, if that makes sense. And I just feel like there's just something here just too about just kind of remembering that as well. The King and Queen of Swords don't complete each other. They're two people choosing to work on themselves and wanting to share this love together in this growth, knowing that there are going to be some things that they can handle together, and there's going to be some kind of things where the King of Swords needs to take a step back and let the Queen deal with her stuff, as well as the Queen for the King, and there's that reciprocity that's happening there too, this really sort of healthy dynamic that's kind of coming on through their Cancer. And that might even be something too there, Cancer. Just one kind of last thing. Because sometimes, problems could potentially, I'm just kind of feeling if there's this tension with these swords here. Sometimes I feel that we can maybe misplace our own kind of personal maybe displeasure or upsetness and put it in another because we don't, maybe it's so we maybe not trying to take responsibility. But I do feel that there is this just being mindfulness about maybe something is not what it seems to be. Like you may think that there's a problem going on in like a relationship possible, but it's more so that there may be some other ways to express this, if that makes sense. That's very interesting, Cancer. I hope hope that makes sense. But well, Cancer, I thought I could try to fix my camera, but it doesn't look like it. Moving on. Let's get some more tarot on this, Cancer. Alright, Cancer. Oh. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, so you have the Two of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles here, Cancer. And with this Five of Wands here, Cancer, the Five of Wands can be this card of conflict. And I feel that if there is, again, some sort of conflict that is going on maybe in our relationships there, Cancer, again, this doesn't just have to be love, maybe in friendship, maybe in family, co-workers. I feel that the King and Queen of Swords being here is this need to express whatever this tension is, because it may be something that we might be creating ourselves in a sense, or if this is something that has been going on for a while, it's like maybe if we can find a way to come at this from a kind of cool head there, Cancer, maybe come in slow, really kind of process, kind of work this thing out together, then that might be something. But I'm getting, because the Two of Wands is this very kind of, it's Aries' hottest minor arcana card. This is Mars and Aries, and I feel, Aries energy, that can be in Mars, that's kind of like our survival instincts, where when we're in that state of stress and state of conflict, how do we respond? Are you the type that runs? Are you the type that fights? Are you the type that freezes? And that's where I feel, I just feel that, especially if we're in some sort of conflict, if we can find a way to maybe slow things down a little bit, it's like where it's not just like this sort of reactive type of energy. We can take a moment and kind of evaluate where things were at. And I feel this like these King and Queen of Swords are kind of coming at this from a very, it's not cold, but it is very, it's like, it's a logical type of place, where I feel like, Aquarius operates from, where feelings are valid. The King of Cups here, there are times where we just need to look at what the facts are at. And the fact may be that and this is just an example there, Cancer, that maybe the Queen of Swords, like it's like I need a little more emotions and you can't provide that for me. Then that might be where, that's just might be one to say, or maybe the King of Swords is just like, you get where I'm going there, Cancer. But it's very interesting. I just kind of feel with this, with how these energies are, how the moon, this lunar energy is kind of lining up with how your tarot card here. I just feel like we're going to be in this place where we're just kind of looking at where we're loved, really kind of taking stock of, because this is Taurus energy for me, the Knight of Pentacles, and just seeing what we truly value in a sense, really kind of being in this state of observance there, Cancer, not really seeing, not just, I feel like maybe even I'm just, because we have very vivid imaginations there, Cancer, and I feel like it's, maybe there could have been this almost like glorification maybe of someone, or this, we hold someone in such reverence, but there's this sort of like emotional component to it, and we're just needing to keep of course the feelings in mind again, but I feel like there could be a little bit more balance in this as well, considering that we have the King of Swords and Cups here, Cancer. But I hope that makes sense. And that's very Pluto and Aquarius. We're in this place where we are kind of, we're kind of reevaluating. Just what relationships are worth. Not I don't want to say are worth sustaining, but what relationships make sense going forward, depending on where your shift has changed, and what are some that we may need to either put again some boundaries with, or we may need to close a chapter on with that, Cancer. So it's just part of the cycle of this journey. But let's get some advice from Saturn and Uranus. All right, Cancer. Oh, interesting. Thank you, guys. All right, last little bit. Oh, see, Cancer. Love and Spirit does that. Oh, and we have another king in the mix there, Cancer. So we have the King of Wands here, the Eight of Wands, the Strength card. There's that Lovers I was sensing there, Cancer. And then you have the Tower. Now we actually can't switch over. So we're going to do this. Remove you. It's not my best word, Cancer, but it's fine. It happens. But with this energy here, Cancer, I do feel with the Tower that I do feel here with the Tower that there is this, it's this reevaluation. I feel like it's like this epiphany that's kind of happening here, that like, oh, maybe something isn't as harmonious as it used to be, or it's just like something has changed in a sense. And the Lovers cannot just be just about a card of love, but it could be about a card of choices that we make as well there, Cancer. And again, I don't feel like this is something where we need to rush into things with the Eight of Wands, with whatever this means. Like, if at all possible, I feel that this is something where we can try to have these conversations, like express like, hey, this is how I'm changing, just because this is Leo energy. And Leo's like kind of like about finding that forming that sense of identity, that sense of ego in a sense, and how do we build, like, let that ego express itself in a healthy type of way there, Cancer. And I feel like it's like kind of talking about your needs, like being a little selfish in a sense. It's like, this is where things are shifting. It's not where we can't be compromising, but it's just like, just dynamics shift in a sense. And I feel this King of Wands is just, there's this maturity of yourself energetically, just about how you interact with the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords versus the King of Cups versus the Knight of Pentacles. There might not, Knight of Pentacles might be doing great, but King of Swords, King of Cups, we're groovy. Queen of Swords, I don't even see her. But but I feel like it is kind of facing that stuff, like having these sort of like for real conversations possibly, I feel like, and just like, again, just surrounding yourself with the people that support your energy, that we all bring ourselves strength here. Because you know what? I kind of like that. We're very clear with the Queen of Swords tonight because we're not wasting each other's energy. We're because we've had the discussion. So, but it's those things that we maybe string along maybe before because of this could be maybe this sort of inflated sense of loyalty possibly. Like I'm just throwing some stuff out there, Cancer, but because I tell you, I just had something that ended not too long ago, and I just kind of made my peace with it here, not here recently, but I had something of almost 20 years, just like totally just end. Could have had definitely a different kind of conversation, but takes two to tango. So what you gonna do? But grow, Cancer. That's what you do. But Cancer, I think I'm gonna leave that there. Well, some very interesting thing to think about on a right before the for the new moon, but. This is kind of where the energies are going there, Cancer. But if you like that, anything resonate with you, give it a thumbs up. I don't know if it's still going to do it. Oh, it's fantastic. And share this, Cancer. If you know someone who's maybe not feeling loved in their group or feels like they may have to shrink themselves, or maybe this could be even where you find that you're kind of trying to control others in a sense, because whatever that may be looking like. Cancer, definitely share this and then subscribe there. Queen of Swords, hit that bell button to get notified now, since that's Libra for me. Get notified on all these videos each day. And then yeah, Cancer, I am open for personal reading, so definitely check that out in the description box. And while you're in that there, Cancer, while I talk about that stuff, you will learn about your sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and then you can come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos. That was almost as smooth as I wanted it to be, Cancer. But now, considering that my schedule has gotten busier, I've had to rearrange some things, so I'm just doing monthly and yearly videos over there. And I'm flirting with this idea. I may start doing just like little shorter videos talking about certain aspects that are happening collectively that we can tune into. So that might be something that I'm considering there, Cancer. So yeah, but yeah, definitely check that out there, Cancer. I do, monthly ones, yearly ones. It's a great old time. And all that housekeeping, because I love Celestial News Monthly, it's down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. Oh, and I'm with it, Cancer. And I like this, because you got the Ace of Wands here. And the Ace of Wands is, I feel like you got... It's a lot of energy to have at your disposal. I feel like, especially if we're thinking about reevaluating some relationships, and again, whatever that's looking like, I feel like this is something we just don't want to just rush into. I feel this is something you kind of, now if there's any, of course every situation is different. If there's any sort of like danger or anything along those lines, then, you do find the proper channels for that, Cancer. But I do feel this is something where, we may have just been kind of frustrated with something. Maybe there's just been a lot compounding up until now. It's been stress here, it's been stress there, and you're just ready to just blow there, Cancer. Let's take a beat, kind of sit with these emotions that are coming up there, process this stuff, see if it not if it just makes sense to do, but why doesn't it make sense? Why can't we do this thing now? And why can't we do this? If we need to do this thing now, can we do this from a, so that things don't blow up in a sense, or just unnecessarily. I hope this makes sense there, Cancer, because I feel like it's because here's my thing. Even if something kind of goes by the wayside, I feel like we don't necessarily have to be this place where we just dislike each other. There was love there once upon a time. Even with this person that I kind of had my little split with, I still send them love and light, and I don't really feel any type of way. That door is maybe just not as wide open that it used to be, but it's ajar. Maybe do a little tap in, like, hey, absolutely. It just depends, and I'm actually saying that there's. May mend a bridge there, Cancer. But let's get a different bridge. But it's not that I'm going around burning bridges, Cancer. But yeah, let's get your other oracle card here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. All right, Cancer. Nice. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. So you have the gratitude and thanks card here, Cancer. And I feel like this is what what I feel like would help a lot when we go through these kind of tough relationships and things. I'm thinking about a real kind of pivotal moment in this last couple of years, a certain relationship that happened for a spell. There's like was with this Libra, and so much that experience sparked up so many other big things into motion that I'm very grateful for that experience. It may not have went exactly how I pictured it would go, but I am extremely grateful for that situation. And I may not talk with that person much anymore, but like I feel like it's learning how to find the gratitude and thanks for whatever these situations have taught you, whether this be with this other situation. I learned boundaries, speaking up for myself, like all these little things, like well, really kind of bigger things, really, they're Cancer. And I'm grateful for that experience because that's where this whole chapter was leading up to, this sense of growth. Them setting their boundaries, me setting mine, and hopefully we both grow from that. And that's where I feel like that reflect on those, especially even those ones where they may not have ended so amiably. My lexicon's expanding. I'm not sure, and I feel like it's like these words are just kind of popping out. I'm like, okay, but yeah, Cancer. I feel like if we can hold that gratitude and thanks in our heart for our relationships, it makes things just. I feel like it makes this journey go a lot smoother. So, and I feel. Oh well, no, we're in Jupiter Day. I was like, oh, how lovely for Venus Day. No, that's tomorrow, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So, you stay safe out there, Cancer, with all these, observing these relationships and any sort of dissonance and things there, Cancer. Yeah, just be mindful of that. Maybe we can come at this from a like Libra, very diplomatically. Find a happy medium there and feel out the moon there, Cancer. It's gonna be hard to keep eyes on her now. I have not seen her since I've moved here yet, and I've had to just intuit. I've had to feel the energies there, Cancer. But you keep eyes on that moon, and I will catch you on the next one tomorrow for that new lunar cycle there, Cancer.